Greetings, everyone. This is Potato Hedgehog, and welcome back to The Last of Us. Last time, we met Ellie for the first time, and I wholeheartedly regret the future that awaits her.
Potato, you're not on part 2. One of your friends on Discord got the game, though.
Good luck, Kagura. You're gonna be miserable at the end of that game, I'm telling you now. That being said, we're playing a game that isn't miserable. Well, it kinda is, but not as miserable as its sequel. And not as miserable as its sequel. Good job, Potato. You've had your coffee, but you can't sentence correctly.
Good job. Really good job, buddy.
While on the subject of The Last of Us, I've been seeing that it's one of the Let's Plays that I've done that's actually getting a lot of attention, and I'm not quite sure why.
Probably because the sequel just came out, and people are probably coming back to the first game to praise it.
Or maybe there are people coming to shit on the first game to say, oh, The Last of Us 2 is such a good game, Abby is such a well-written character. Both of those are wrong. Even though, if you like The Last of Us Part 2, if you like Abby, not gonna shit on you for it. I'm not that kind of person, but I still think that compared to Part 2, The Last of Us is still a better game. Story-wise and character-wise. Because yeah, there are gonna be moments between Ellie and Joel that are really playful, and it feels like that Ellie is Joel's adoptive daughter because, well, his daughter's kind of dead. But yeah, Ellie is kind of like a surrogate daughter for Joel, and that's really endearing. But come part 2, Ellie just hates Joel because of certain events that happen in this game, and their relationship never repairs after that. Oh, and especially considering what Abby does in the first few minutes of part 2! Moshi, pull up that clip of Abby getting shot in the vag.
Got it. That's my vag!
That's satisfying.
Even though, realistically, it didn't happen because Abby is the supposed protagonist.
Protagonist my ass. More like dumbass-tagonist.
Or poorly written character whose excellent talents by Laura Bailey were wasted.
Yeah, that also makes sense. I may dislike Abby, but Laura Bailey's performance as her is exceptional, and this is Laura Bailey we're talking about. She's one of my favorite voice actresses, and as much as I dislike Abby, she knocked it out of the goddamn park. But then again, still Laura Bailey we're talking about.
Too bad she got harassed to hell and back by absolute brainlets who couldn't separate fiction from reality.
She knew my mom.
Yeah, very true. That is never okay.
Yeah, no one deserves that kind of shit. And just because people play a character that's not likable in a certain piece of media, it doesn't mean that the voice actor / voice actress is that person.
And it especially sucks, I'm going on a personal tangent here, Laura Bailey is one of the reasons I got into voice acting myself. Like, she is top tier when it comes to voice acting. She's amazing. Like, I hate to sound like a fanboy, but if there's a product with Laura Bailey in it, you know I'm going to play it because the voice work is going to be exceptional. Same with Troy Baker. Like, it sucks when voice actors and voice actresses that you look up to in media are being harassed, sent death threats by absolute fucking idiots who can't separate fiction from reality. Like, it's not that hard to be a decent human being, people. Like, I don't give a shit if Laura Bailey played Abby 1,000 times over, it's never okay to harass her, to send death threats, nothing of that sort, because it makes you look like a fucking asshole. That being said, here's some moments from the first The Last of Us, which makes me hate the sequel. Ellie and Joel grow a little bit closer as adoptive daughter and surrogate father. Even though Ellie is kind of a smartass.
Anyone else notice that Ellie looks like Ellen Page?
Sort of. I've noticed that.
You mumble in your sleep. I hate bad dreams.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I've never been this close to the outside.
Keep what Ellie said in mind here because it's going to be important later. And it adds a bit of character development to Ellie. She's never been on the outside, considering when we first got to her, she was kind of locked up.
Hey. Sorry it took so
But
long.
considering now that we're smuggling her out of unnamed city, we get a chance to show her around the post-apocalyptic America. Be Ellie's tour guide. Her grizzled, bearded-ass tour guide. Voiced by Troy Baker.
Indeed.
Well, that was a lot of sneaking we had to do. Oof.
It appears that we're being attacked by the local military.
Yep. The evil corporation men who took Joel's daughter away 20 years ago.
Put your hands on your head.
Took her away to the land of the dead.
Ramirez at Sector 12.
Indeed.
Pick up the 3 stragglers.
Sure, and it would sure be a shame if someone were to pull a switchblade out of their ass and fuck one of you guys up the butt with said switchblade.
Ellie is about to do something, isn't she?
Yep, she's about to do something. And thus she was properly greeted as an American.
Yep.
Fuck. I thought we were just gonna hold him up or something.
Oh shit. Look.
Jesus Christ. Marlene set us up? Why the hell are we smuggling an infected girl?
I'm not infected.
No? Just lying?
I can explain.
You better explain fast.
Look at this.
I don't care how you got infected.
It's 3 weeks old.
No, everyone turns within 2 days, so you stop bullshitting.
It's 3 weeks. I swear. Why would she set you up?
I ain't buying it. Oh shit. Tess. Run. Run!
Go! Move!
Oh, and obligatory stealth.
What do you mean, potato?
Remember, Moshi, the militia shot Joel's daughter on sight, and they were playing out in the open. Those are gonna be our opponents for the next few minutes, and it's obligatory stealth. Meaning, if you get detected by any one of these military motherfuckers, prepare thy anus for bullets! And remember how awful I was at the combat in the last episode? Yeah. If you get shot in The Last of Us, expect to be shot and shot again until you die. Even on easy difficulty, the enemies are kind of unrelentless, especially if they have guns. And since these are the military mooks that we've been seeing, they have assault rifles. Imagine what a single assault rifle can do to Joel.
Turn him into Troy Baker meat?
Yep, pretty much. a piece of grizzled man meat.
Ugh.
Yeah, pretty much. But if you think that's bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. Prepare for the next episode, because I do not fucking like a certain enemy type in this game.
Clickers.
Yep, clickers. Because, I'm just going to give this away right now. The clickers are the most annoying enemy type in this entire franchise, even though there are 2 games. Because I think the game leaves it up to chance if the clickers can insta-kill you, because sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. But if you don't have any means of defending yourself when a clicker gets close to you, prepare to have your throat ripped out.
Sounds joyous.
It is not, Moshi. And if I'm honest, the clickers fucking scare me too. Design-wise and gimmick-wise, considering... Imagine this. An enemy that cannot see you, but can hear you. That's why I fucking hate stealth so much. It gives me anxiety. I mentioned this back in the Resident Evil 2 remake when I was playing as Sherry and we were running away from Cheap Irons. I hate enemies that can instantly close in on you the minute they hear you breathe. Like, that shit fucking scares me. And it always has, no matter what horror game it is. And this is an action horror game, so even though you have a means of defending yourself, it kind of doesn't mean shit when the motherfucker can just shrug off bullets and take a chunk out of your fleshy throat. No. Fuck that.
At least you're being real about it, Potato.
Yeah, just... yeah. And you guys wonder why I don't play horror games very often. That just fucks with my anxiety. I can handle things like classic Resident Evil games before Resident Evil 7, but Resident Evil 7 scared me. The Resident Evil 2 remake scared me. The only thing about Resident Evil 3 that got to me was Nemesis and the fucking redesigned Hunters, but the classic Resident Evil games really didn't scare me that much, except for Resident Evil 4 when you had to encounter the Regeneradors for the first time. But, yeah. Horror games just fucking scare me. I get startled easily, and... yeesh. That's why I just don't play horror games that often. And besides, I'm nowhere near Markiplier level of reactions. So if you were looking for that, I'm sorry. Even though my reactions are pretty much over the top as is, that's just me generally reacting to a situation.
I remind you, Potato, Markiplier played this years ago. I'm surprised he hasn't touched the sequel.
We don't need Markiplier of all people feeling like shit, because... hell, he was one of the reasons I started YouTube in the first place, and sometimes I still watch him from time to time, but we don't need Markiplier feeling like shit, because he's one of the more positive YouTubers that I've seen, even though I haven't watched him in quite some time, but I cannot deny he was one of my inspirations for YouTube growing up, and kind of still is right now. Oh, and by the way... still more obligatory stealth, and prepare your ass for bullets if you get spotted. Considering there are about 5 soldiers in the area right now, and if a single one of them detects you, you will get peppered. And if I may say something, Ellie and Tess's AI is kind of dumb too, considering they pass me health kits at the last second, like, either before I die or as I'm dying, so that's fun. Oh, and for those of you that want to play The Last of Us for yourself, try to avoid combat if you don't like realistic third-person combat, because, like I mentioned in the last part, every shot has weight behind it, and if you somehow get shot while you're doing something else, expect your action to get interrupted and for you to take damage. What I'm saying is, don't expect combat to be easy in any measure of the word, because The Last of Us will fucking punish you, and it will rub in the fact that you're not playing the game correctly if you manage to get shot all the way to hell and back. So, yeah, that's always fun. Except when it isn't, because these soldier mooks can die in a fucking fire. Or better yet, when I throw a wooden plank at their face.
If this were Far Cry, you'd be knocking all these motherfuckers out.
Yeah, because, I did clear most of the outposts undetected in Far Cry 5. Not so much so in New Dawn, because I swear to God the Highwaymen's AI is better than Eden's Gate somehow.
I think you're dead in one more hit, Potato.
Yep, pretty much. So...
Well, it's better than being done in by a fucking 9-iron.
Fuck Abby. That being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode of The Last of Us Remastered, please leave a like and a comment to let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, ladies and gentlemen,
See ya!